Have you ever felt that no matter what you do, life seems to be moving in slow motion, that the reality you dream of feels just out of reach? That longing you feel, the whisper of possibility in the quiet moments, is not a fantasy, it's a memory of the truth your consciousness already knows. What if I told you that the life you've been imagining, the reality you've been chasing, is not years away or even months away, it is literally seconds away from being yours? This isn't some vague spiritual promise or wishful thinking. This is a principle deeply rooted in both the science of quantum mechanics and the subtle intelligence of consciousness. The reality you want is not a distant horizon. It is the moment you step into alignment with who you truly are. Most people spend their lives living in a loop, waiting for the right time or perfect circumstances to appear. They believe that manifestation is something that takes months of planning, endless affirmations, or grand sacrifices. And yet, the universe has never worked that way. Reality responds not to your struggles, but to the clarity of your focus, the depth of your feeling, and the alignment of your energy. When you learn to harness these elements, your life begins to move in ways that feel almost instantaneous. What once seemed impossible suddenly appears natural, as if you've simply remembered something you had forgotten, that you have always had the power to create. Think of your old self, the version who doubts, fears, and hesitates. This part of you has been conditioned to wait, to believe that external circumstances hold the key to fulfillment. It clings to the story of lack, of limitation, of not enough. Now, imagine a new self, stepping quietly yet confidently into the reality it desires. This self doesn't chase, doesn't force, and doesn't struggle against the flow of life. Instead, it observes, it aligns, and it allows the universe to respond to its clarity. The contrast is striking. One self trapped in the illusion of time and delay, the other fully awake to the immediacy of creation. And the remarkable truth is, both exist within you right now. The moment you choose alignment over resistance, your new reality begins to crystallize, sometimes within seconds. In this exploration, we will journey together into understanding how consciousness shapes reality, how your thoughts and emotions are not mere experiences but potent instruments of creation. You will begin to see the old patterns that have held you back, those invisible limits imposed by fear, doubt, and uncertainty. And you will discover how simple shifts in perception, when applied consistently, can accelerate your manifestation process in ways that feel miraculous. This is not about forcing life to obey you, it is about learning the natural rhythm of the universe, and stepping into that rhythm so completely that reality bends to meet your alignment effortlessly. Many seekers struggle because they focus solely on the destination, the what they want, without acknowledging the who they need to become. You cannot experience your desired reality while vibrating at the frequency of your old self. Transformation begins with a subtle internal shift, a quiet awareness that you are not separate from your desires, but intimately connected to them. When this awareness dawns, the feeling of waiting disappears. There is no more delay because the seconds between intention and manifestation collapse. You start to notice signs, synchronicities, and subtle nudges that confirm you are already on the path. Life itself becomes your mirror, reflecting the clarity and alignment you have chosen to embody. By the end of this first section, you will feel a subtle shift, a stirring of possibility in your mind and heart. You will sense that the gap between who you are and who you want to be is not vast. It is narrow, almost imperceptible, bridged by intention, focus, and aligned energy. The journey we are about to take is not about theoretical concepts or distant hopes. It is about awakening to the immediacy of your creative power. Every second that passes is a new opportunity to step into the reality you desire, and every thought, feeling, and action contributes to that moment of transformation. The universe is waiting for you, not somewhere down the road, but here now, ready to respond to your alignment. The reality you want is closer than you think. It is embedded in your consciousness, coded in your energy, and reflected in your perception. All that is required is your awareness, your focus, and your willingness to let go of the old self that believes in delay. As you continue through this journey, you will learn to feel the immediacy of manifestation, to see how seconds can hold lifetimes, and to recognize that every shift, no matter how small, accelerates the arrival of your desired reality. In these moments of awakening, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the impossible becomes a natural expression of who you are. You are not waiting for reality, reality is waiting for you. To understand why the reality you desire can appear within seconds, we must first bridge the realms of science and spirituality, revealing how the universe itself is designed to respond to consciousness. At the deepest level, reality is not a fixed, external construct. It is a fluid interplay of energy, vibration, and observation. Quantum physics, the study of the tiniest building blocks of existence, has shown that particles do not exist in a definite state until they are observed. The act of observation collapses infinite possibilities into a single reality. In essence, the universe is constantly waiting for consciousness to declare, to focus, and to choose. When you recognize this, you begin to understand why your attention, thoughts, and feelings carry such profound creative power. You are not a passive participant in reality, you are an active co-creator shaping the world around you from the inside out. Consider the contrast between living in fear and living in alignment. Fear creates contraction, limitation, and resistance. It is a vibration that binds your reality to repetition, struggle, and scarcity. Alignment, on the other hand, creates expansion, flow, and effortless manifestation. When your inner state matches the frequency of your desires, the universe responds immediately. This is not a metaphor, it is the natural law of resonance. Your energy emits signals like ripples in a pond, and the universe, being infinitely responsive, arranges circumstances to match those vibrations. The clearer, stronger, and more emotionally charged your alignment, the more immediate the manifestation. Seconds can feel like lifetimes because the timeline of reality is elastic. It bends and stretches according to the frequency you hold. Spiritual traditions across cultures have always pointed to this truth. Ancient wisdom speaks of the mind as the ultimate creator, of consciousness as the source of all experience. From Taoist teachings of effortless flow to Vedic philosophies of manifestation through intention, the principle remains consistent. Reality is not something to be conquered, it is something to be aligned with. Science now mirrors these insights. Experiments in quantum physics, such as the double-slit experiment, reveal that particles behave differently when observed, suggesting that consciousness itself is a fundamental force shaping the material world. The bridge between science and spirituality is no longer a philosophical debate, it is a tangible, observable fact. Your awareness matters. Yet, most people operate unconsciously, allowing life to be dictated by habits, external circumstances, and societal expectations. They wait for external validation, promotions, opportunities, or lucky breaks, unaware that the ultimate lever of change has always been internal. Imagine a world in which your thoughts and emotions were recognized as signals that organize reality. Every doubt, every fear, and every limiting belief acts like static, disrupting the frequency you emit. Conversely, clarity, gratitude, and deliberate intention create harmony. When your inner vibration aligns with the reality you desire, the universe orchestrates events, encounters, and synchronicities that reflect your alignment almost instantaneously. Let us explore an example. Picture two individuals with identical desires for financial abundance. One focuses on lack, stress, and the impossible nature of their situation. Their consciousness is clouded with fear, and their energy creates a field of resistance. Opportunities are missed, doors remain closed, and manifestation feels distant. The other individual, however, cultivates alignment, visualizing not just the outcome but feeling the reality of abundance as though it already exists. They let go of resistance, embrace gratitude for what is present, and act from a place of inspired flow. Suddenly, opportunities appear, insights arise, and life seems to shift effortlessly. The difference is not chance. It is the conscious orchestration of reality through vibration and focus. Seconds in this aligned state are enough to trigger profound shifts. The interplay between science and spirituality also teaches us about the multidimensional nature of consciousness. Your mind is not limited to the linear cause and effect framework most of society assumes. Thoughts can ripple across timelines, affecting past, present, and future possibilities simultaneously. Energy moves faster than the mind can comprehend, and when aligned, it acts as a catalyst for instantaneous change. This is why spiritual masters speak of manifestation as immediate. It is immediate because time is a construct relative to consciousness, not a fixed measurement. Understanding this rewires perception, dissolves the illusion of waiting, and empowers you to act from a place of certainty rather than anxiety. Emotional resonance is the bridge between thought and reality. The universe responds not merely to what you think but to what you feel. Intention without feeling is like a signal without power, it carries little impact. When you pair your focus with emotion, the signal becomes amplified, broadcasting your desired reality across the quantum field. This explains why the same technique can feel effortless for some and impossible for others. It is not the method alone that works, but the alignment of mind, emotion, and energy. Learning to feel the reality you want before it manifests is the secret to collapsing the timeline between desire and experience. As you begin to grasp these principles, you will notice subtle changes in perception. Synchronicities may become more frequent, coincidences more meaningful, and life will start to feel responsive rather than random. The boundary between internal and external blurs, and you begin to see that every moment is a point of creation. The key is awareness, noticing where your vibration drifts into doubt or resistance, and gently returning to alignment. It is through this practice that seconds become sufficient for transformation. The universe does not require preparation, it requires presence, clarity, and resonance. The faster you cultivate these, the faster your desired reality materializes. Understanding the science and spirituality behind reality is only the first step. To truly experience the immediacy of manifestation, you must learn the mechanics of how to consciously shift your reality. Quantum manifestation is not about forcing life to obey you, nor is it about wishful thinking or endless visualization. It is about aligning your consciousness, energy, and emotions in such a way that your inner state resonates with the reality you desire. When your internal vibration matches the frequency of what you want, the universe responds almost instantaneously. The process is precise, elegant, and surprisingly simple, yet it requires practice, awareness, and intentionality. At the core of quantum manifestation is the understanding that your thoughts are not passive. They are powerful signals sent into the quantum field. Each thought carries an energy signature, a vibration that informs reality of what is possible. But thought alone is insufficient. Without emotion, focus, and alignment, it is like sending a radio signal without power, ineffective, faint, and easily drowned out by the noise of daily life. The most effective manifestation occurs when you pair intention with feeling. Imagine what it feels like to already live the reality you desire. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the relief, and the excitement. The quantum field responds not to what you think you want, but to the emotional resonance of what you already feel you have. Seconds after this alignment occurs, reality begins to bend toward your signal. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in this process, but it must be applied with a subtle distinction. Many people practice visualization as a mental exercise, imagining scenarios and hoping they manifest over time. While this has some effect, it often creates tension because the focus remains on what is absent. Quantum manifestation requires immersive visualization, experiencing the reality with all senses and emotions as though it already exists. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, and even smell it if possible. Place yourself fully inside the scene, not as a future observer but as a present participant. This immersive experience communicates clearly to the quantum field, collapsing possibilities into your chosen reality with astonishing speed. Another key aspect is alignment with your inner state. Resistance, doubt, and limiting beliefs are invisible barriers that slow or block manifestation. Even a single thought of "I can't" or "this will take time" interferes with your signal. To overcome this, practice noticing internal resistance and gently releasing it. Techniques such as meditation, breathwork, and energy clearing help recalibrate your state. The goal is not to suppress thoughts but to consciously redirect your focus toward alignment, cultivating a vibration that matches the frequency of your desired reality. This is where contrast framing becomes essential. Observe your old self, stuck in doubt, hesitation, or fear, and contrast it with your new self, aligned, empowered, and already embodying the desired reality. Each shift in perception accelerates the manifestation process. Feeling first manifestation is another crucial mechanic. Instead of starting with the how or the when, start with the feeling of the outcome. Your inner experience communicates to the universe more powerfully than any external effort. The mind is like a compass, but the heart is the engine. When you feel the reality you desire with conviction, the universe responds by arranging circumstances to match. Action, when aligned, becomes effortless and inspired, rather than forced or strained. You will notice that opportunities appear naturally, ideas flow intuitively, and events fall into place in ways that seem almost miraculous, but are simply the result of precise energetic alignment. Let's also consider the role of detachment. Paradoxically, the faster and more effortlessly reality shifts, the less control you exercise. The universe cannot respond to resistance. When you cling, push, or obsess over outcomes, you introduce friction, slowing the manifestation. Quantum manifestation is not about control, it is about co-creation. You send your signal with clarity, focus, and emotion, and then allow reality to respond in its own timing. The more you trust this process, the more rapidly you experience results. This is why so many breakthroughs feel instantaneous, because resistance has been removed and the signal flows freely, meeting life halfway. Practical exercises make this mechanic tangible. Begin each day with a clear intention, paired with deep emotional resonance. Visualize your desired reality as though it is already present. Notice any tension or doubt and release it gently, returning to a state of alignment. Throughout the day, maintain awareness of your internal state, choosing alignment over distraction, clarity over confusion, and feeling over thought alone. At night, reflect on the moments where your vibration was pure, and observe the subtle manifestations that occurred as a result. Consistency in these practices creates a feedback loop, reinforcing your ability to collapse timelines and accelerate manifestation. Stories of transformation illustrate this principle vividly. Many individuals report shifts in life circumstances that seem impossible. Sudden career breakthroughs, unexpected financial abundance, deep personal healing, or new relationships appearing effortlessly. These changes often occur when the individual has mastered the mechanics of quantum manifestation, aligning thought, emotion, and energy, releasing resistance, and embodying the new self. What may appear as coincidence or luck to the outside observer is, in truth, a precise orchestration of consciousness, demonstrating that the reality you desire is not only possible but imminently accessible. Energy tuning is another advanced mechanic to consider. Your body and environment carry subtle energies that influence manifestation. Practices such as mindful breathing, energy visualization, and heart-centered meditation help to harmonize your energy with the frequency of your desired reality. Every thought, emotion, and action contributes to this energetic field. Even when you understand the science, feel the emotions, and apply the mechanics of manifestation, many seekers encounter invisible blocks that slow or prevent their desired reality from materializing. These blocks are subtle, often hidden beneath layers of fear, doubt, limiting beliefs, and old conditioning. They are the mental and emotional patterns formed over years of habit, repetition, and external influence. To manifest quickly and fully, you must first recognize these blocks and then gently release them, creating space for alignment to occur. Without addressing these internal barriers, even the most powerful manifestation techniques can feel stalled, leaving you frustrated and questioning the process. One of the most common blocks is fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. Fear is a contraction of energy, a signal to the universe that resistance exists. When you cling to fear, you remain in the vibration of lack rather than abundance. The moment you acknowledge fear without judgment, you transform it into awareness, and awareness is the first step toward liberation. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Where does this fear stem from? Once identified, you can consciously release it, replacing it with trust in the process and confidence in your own creative power. By doing this, you shift from the old self, trapped in hesitation, to the new self, flowing effortlessly in alignment with the reality you desire. Doubt is another pervasive block. Doubt undermines clarity, creating confusion and indecision. Even small doubts introduce subtle friction, scattering energy and weakening the signal you send into the quantum field. The antidote to doubt is certainty. Certainty is not about arrogance or blind faith. It is the inner knowing that your reality is already unfolding in alignment with your consciousness. To cultivate certainty, focus on small, consistent practices that reinforce your alignment. Reflect on moments when your intentions have manifested, no matter how small, and allow those experiences to strengthen your belief in the process. As certainty grows, doubt diminishes and manifestation accelerates naturally. Limiting beliefs often hide in the subconscious, quietly shaping perception and experience. Beliefs like, I am not enough, this is too difficult, or, I must wait for the right time, act as invisible fences around your potential. These beliefs are learned, not inherent truths, and they can be transformed. Begin by noticing recurring patterns or thoughts that contradict your desires. Question them and replace them with empowering alternatives. For example, replace I cannot achieve this with I am already aligned with this reality. Over time, these new beliefs reshape your subconscious, removing energetic resistance and opening the door for rapid manifestation. Attachment to the outcome is another subtle block. Many seekers focus so intensely on the what of their desires that they create tension and expectation, which paradoxically slows the manifestation process. The universe does not respond to force or obsession, it responds to resonance. The more you cling, push, or control, the more friction you introduce. True alignment requires detachment. You set your intention, embody the feeling of your desired reality, and then allow the universe to respond in its own timing. Detachment does not mean apathy, it means trust, surrender, and confidence in your own power to co-create. Energy misalignment can also block manifestation. Your thoughts and emotions generate an energy field that influences your experience. When this energy is fragmented, due to stress, overthinking, unresolved emotions, or environmental influences, your signal becomes weak or inconsistent. Practices like meditation, breathwork, energy clearing, and mindful movement can harmonize your energy, restoring coherence to your vibration. The more coherent your energy, the more powerful and immediate your manifestation becomes. Seconds of focused alignment can ripple across your life, triggering profound shifts in circumstances that might have previously seemed impossible. Self-sabotage is a final, often overlooked block. This occurs when subconscious fears or old habits unconsciously undermine your conscious efforts. You may create excuses, procrastinate, or act in ways that contradict your desires without realizing it. Awareness is the key to overcoming self-sabotage. Notice when your actions do not align with your intentions and gently course-correct. By observing these patterns without judgment, you reclaim control over your energy and strengthen the alignment between your inner self and outer reality. Practical strategies for overcoming these blocks involve both awareness and action. Begin each day with a mindful check-in. Notice your thoughts, emotions, and energy. Identify any resistance or misalignment and consciously release it. Use visualization and feeling-first techniques to anchor yourself in your desired reality, even for brief moments throughout the day. Surround yourself with supportive environments, people, and influences that reinforce your alignment. Every small shift compounds, creating a momentum that amplifies your ability to manifest quickly. Over time, you will notice that resistance weakens, synchronicities increase, and life begins to reflect the clarity of your inner state. Contrast is a powerful tool in this process. Continuously observe the difference between the old self, constrained by fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs, and the new self, empowered, aligned, and flowing. Each time you make a conscious choice to release resistance, you reinforce the reality of your new self. This repeated practice not only removes blocks but also strengthens your identity as a creator, accelerating the speed at which reality shifts. The journey is not about eliminating challenges entirely, it is about learning to navigate them with awareness, grace, and alignment. By fully understanding and addressing these blocks, you create the foundation for rapid, effortless manifestation. The seconds between desire and reality collapse when resistance is removed, allowing you to experience the immediacy of creation. Alignment becomes not just a practice but a state of being. As you release fear, doubt, attachment, and limiting beliefs, you step into the new self, fully capable of co-creating your desired reality. This is the moment where transformation becomes tangible, not distant, a reality you can feel, experience, and embody in every moment. Now, as we arrive at the culmination of this journey, it's time to bring everything together and anchor the insights into lived experience. The reality you desire is not a distant dream or a future possibility. It is present, accessible, and waiting for your conscious recognition. Throughout this exploration, you have glimpsed the mechanics of manifestation, the science and spirituality that validate it, and the internal blocks that can slow it down. But knowing these principles intellectually is not enough. The transformation occurs when knowledge becomes experience, when insight becomes action, and when alignment becomes your natural state of being. Your new reality is not a project to be completed someday, it is a dimension to step into now. Every second offers an opportunity to choose alignment over resistance, clarity over doubt, and embodiment over aspiration. The universe responds not to your struggles, but to your presence, your focus, and the resonance you maintain. When you feel the reality you want, when you inhabit it emotionally and energetically, life begins to mirror that state immediately. The old self may linger, tempting you with familiar patterns of fear, hesitation, or attachment. But you now have the tools to observe these impulses without surrendering to them, to gently return to alignment whenever you drift. This is the essence of embodied manifestation. It is a continuous practice, a living awareness, and a commitment to let your inner state shape your outer experience. Action in this context is different from frantic effort or forced striving. Inspired action flows naturally from alignment, guided by intuition, clarity, and a sense of effortless movement. It is the small, conscious choices made from a place of certainty and resonance, rather than anxiety or obligation. Each aligned action reinforces the signal you send into the quantum field, accelerating the arrival of your desired reality. Even moments of stillness, meditation, reflection, or simply feeling the reality you want, become powerful acts of creation. Seconds spent in conscious alignment ripple across your life, producing shifts that may seem sudden, miraculous, or beyond expectation, yet are perfectly natural consequences of your inner coherence. Contrast is essential in anchoring this transformation. Reflect on the difference between the old self and the new self, between life lived in resistance and life lived in resonance. The old self hesitates, doubts, and waits. The new self moves with trust, clarity, and unwavering focus. Each time you choose the new self, you reinforce the vibrational state that makes manifestation immediate. These choices are not one-time events. They are repeated, conscious commitments to embody the reality you desire. Over time, alignment becomes effortless, synchronicities multiply, and life unfolds in ways that feel deeply intuitive and profoundly rewarding. The final step is integration. Take the insights, practices, and exercises you have learned and weave them into the fabric of daily life. Begin each day with intention, pause throughout the day to realign, and close each day reflecting on moments where your reality shifted in response to your focus. Notice subtle signs, coincidences, and inspirations. They are the universe's confirmation that you are already co-creating the life you desire. Gratitude magnifies this effect. Feeling gratitude for your present circumstances and for the reality that is unfolding accelerates manifestation exponentially. Every thought, feeling, and choice becomes a brushstroke painting the canvas of your existence. As you embody these principles, remember this: the reality you want is not somewhere out there. It is already within you, encoded in your consciousness and reflected in your energy. You are not waiting for circumstances to change, you are allowing reality to respond to your alignment. Every second, every breath, and every moment of awareness carries the potential for creation. The practice of embodiment transforms theoretical understanding into lived experience, collapsing the gap between desire and reality until it ceases to exist. The universe is not distant, it is responsive, intimate, and always present, waiting for you to claim the immediacy of your creative power. In this moment, recognize your authority as a conscious creator. Step fully into the new self you have been cultivating, release the last threads of doubt, and embrace the reality that is already yours. Feel it, believe it, embody it, and allow it to flow into every aspect of your life. The life you have imagined is not a future event, it is a living reality, waiting only for your conscious recognition. Every second you align, every choice you make from resonance, accelerates the manifestation of this truth. Your power is immediate. Your reality is seconds away. Claim it now and watch as the world shifts effortlessly to reflect the clarity, alignment, and vibrational resonance of who you truly are.